The 2017 AirPods were a hit, selling out in every country and getting probably the most sales in any other wireless earbud ever, in a year of course. But then when we kind of looked at it a little more and a few more items came out during those years, we realized that these AirPods weren't even that great. The volume, the noise cancellation, even the battery, I mean, it wasn't that great, especially for a price that was roughly $200 to $250 at that time. It wasn't worth it. However, Apple realized this, and a few years later, they created the Apple Airpods Pro. Hi, welcome to Gadget User, and today I'll be reviewing AirPods Pro. I've had these for roughly 5 to 6 months, and I can say it's a pretty good improvement. Now, because I was coming from the original AirPods, I was kind of expecting a lot more, just from the advertisements that Apple's putting on their website to even independent reviewers that I was researching, because I needed to make sure that I would not waste my money again. And to be fair, the original AirPods weren't horrible, but I knew they could do better, and they did. As you know, the noise cancellation comes in pretty handy. Even though they aren't the best on the market, they are still pretty substantial. And for experience, even when I'm going on a bus or a train, or even if I'm within a crowd, putting in the noise cancellation mode really enhances the music, and I can really just isolate myself from everyone else, because really, I put them in because I don't really want to talk to anyone. Now within the box, you're welcomed by designed by Apple in California, like all the other products. But then underneath that, you are welcomed by a few customized ear tips to benefit your listening experience. These come in small to medium, and you can try them out by going into settings and actually listening to a fit. Apple was smart enough to actually understand that a lot of people aren't that self-aware when it comes to technology. Again, that's why they're making all those sales with the AirPods that were actually pretty basic and pretty bad for their price, to be honest. Thankfully, Apple has implemented a test ear fit, which basically plays music through the earphones that you have in your ear at the moment, and it lets you know if the size is actually suitable for your ears. Once you've settled with the earbud size, now you get to actually explore the devices and the technology that Apple has implemented into the AirPods Pro. For example, there are 3 settings. One setting is noise cancellation, which I've also mentioned. And there's also transparency, which, as you can imagine, it kind of opens the earphones. It's a really cool technology. It opens the earphones through the air canals that they have on the side, and it actually lets you hear the ambience a lot louder. And I find that really, really convenient, especially when I'm in a crowd, or if I'm at school, or I'm doing something like that. I want to listen to music, but at the same time, I don't want to isolate myself and maybe run into some accident because I can't hear anything. So once I put the transparency mode on, I actually get to listen to the outside a little more, and it's really, really impressive. Which I've also mentioned as well, there's also an off setting, which is really just in the middle of noise cancellation and transparency mode. So really, it's kind of cancelling some sound, but at the same time, you're not too isolated with noise cancellation. And I'm saying isolated, not to say that the noise cancellation is a little too much, because it's not. It can definitely be improved. However, I still find it very, very convenient when I need it, and I'm very pleased with Apple. With the price being around $300 to $400, I can see where some people might have some issues, but with Gadget User, you can actually find cheaper deals for the AirPods Pro, which is pretty hard to find nowadays. And with the volume itself, it is a massive improvement from the original AirPods back in 2017, because they had no bass. The treble was really low, and I just really had a hard time trying to actually listen to what people are saying and where the bass comes in. Even the drums. I'm a big drum player, and the original AirPods didn't really do this, but with the AirPods Pro, they are really, really good. Now for the battery, the individual earphones have 3 to 4 hours. However, when you play with the settings, it kind of messes it around a little bit. If you have it on noise cancellation or transparency mode, it will usually hit around 3 hours. But if you have it just on off, which is usually in the middle, like I've mentioned before, of both settings on the outside, it's really going to get around 3.5 hours, possibly 4 if you're being really easy on the volume. Because again, if you heighten the volume, the battery's going to go a little lower. Now for the actual wireless AirPods case, they run about 24 hours a day. And coming back again from the original AirPods, that's a pretty good improvement. I did notice that Apple was saying it can do the exact same, but really it couldn't. Convenience for Apple as well. You can just plop them in and they immediately connect to your device. With a Samsung, however, or an Android, it is a little more difficult, but again, it's still suitable for most people. All you have to go is usually go into settings, go into Bluetooth, and manually pick the AirPods. But again, it's not really an issue because you're setting up a pretty good audio experience. Thank you for watching Gadget User. Like I said, I highly recommend the AirPods Pro. The only downside, again, being the price originally on the Apple website or maybe some other independent stores around you. However, with Gadget User, there's cheaper prices that you can find online. Thank you for watching.